From the nation's capital, Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce. A weekly discussion about the federal issues most important to Nevada. And now, from Washington, D.C., here's Marilee Joyce.
And good day to you. I'm Marilee Joyce. This is Eye on Washington. It's the only statewide Nevada program produced in Washington, D.C. Every week, Eye on Washington takes you straight to Capitol Hill for a discussion with Nevada's delegation and other leaders about the federal matters that matter to you. Today's topic, what a difference a decade makes, an update on gaming's continued emergence from the Great Recession. My guests today are Ms. Jacqueline Peterson, the Chief Communications and Public Relations Officer for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, and Mr. Carlos LaSane, the Regional Vice President of Government Affairs for Caesars Entertainment. Thanks both of you for being here today.
Great to be here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Billions of dollars in new tourism-related projects. At the beginning of the seemingly never-ending Great Recession, with its hugely negative impact on gaming, tourism, and the Nevada economy in general, there likely are many who wondered if such a phrase would ever be uttered again. But gaming-related building is booming, and today on Eye on Washington, we'll look at the statewide strong, steady growth in the industry in recent years. We'll talk about major projects underway in northern and southern Nevada. We'll ask my guests their predictions for gaming's continued strength moving forward and what should happen legislatively to help keep the industry strong. The great news about the billions in new projects came from LVCVA President and CEO Rossi Rallencotter in the Nevada Business Magazine in early January. What a difference from what we were hearing during a recession that caused more economic pain in Nevada than in any other state in the union. A decade later, though, it appears Lady Luck again is smiling on the crucial gaming and tourism sectors when Mr. Rallencotter told the publication the tourism industry is expected to be, quote, innovative, action-packed, and groundbreaking. He must have meant literally groundbreaking. There are many developments on the horizon we're going to share with you in our next segment, and that commitment to building reflects recent good economic news. Las Vegas visitation reached 35.7 million visitors as of October 31st of 2017. And meanwhile, things are sunny up north as well. Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority President and CEO Philip DeLone told Nevada Business that hotel taxable room rate revenue in fiscal 2017-18 up 17.3%, and that, quote, the long-term future for Northern Nevada is really bright. And first of all, welcome both of you to Eye on Washington. Thanks so much for being here today. Ms. Peterson, Mr. Rallencotter told Nevada Business Magazine that, quote, there are a lot of major developments on the horizon that will support it, the it being that innovative and action-packed and groundbreaking 2018. What music it is to every Nevadan's ears that tourism and gaming have so rebounded and that growth is back. Isn't that right?
Yes, it's music to every Nevadan's ears, especially in southern Nevada. We have about $15 billion worth of announced projects on the books in southern Nevada, which will bring to life 2.7 million square feet of convention and meeting space and about 14,000 additional hotel rooms. Wow. And that is inclusive of the $1.4 billion expansion at the Las Vegas Convention Center.
You know, Mr. LaSane, years ago, it was gambling that was the big draw, and now it's a whole nother experience. When you and I talked prior to the show, you emphasized that Caesars Entertainment is called Caesars Entertainment for a reason, that now when a tourist comes to Nevada, you're really getting so much more than just pulling a slot handle, aren't you?
Absolutely. Non-gaming revenue exceeds gaming revenue, specifically in Las Vegas. And there's a reason for that. There's been the seismic change in the industry. No more is it just coffee shops, gaming. It is now Celine Dion, Elton John, fabulous rooms, nightlife, celebrity chefs. It goes on and on and on. We continue to reinvent ourselves. So we're really excited. There's a lot of renovations taking place. Rooms, and more rooms are coming online. I can't even keep up with it, as well as special attractions that are coming forth.
You know, I mentioned that several projects are underway, and we're going to get into that specifically in our next segment. But, you know, there's so many to list, but just a few things. More meeting space, 200,000 in ARIA, 250,000 MGM. There's also a coming debut, as we'll talk about in our next segment, of Park MGM, Nomad Las Vegas, tons of stuff in Caesars coming we're going to talk about. And also fun stuff bringing in tourist dollars like a Fly-Link, zipline experience. So you just really have it all when you go to Nevada, don't you?
You really do. And now we are on the cusp of also another great innovation that Las Vegas is bringing to bear, which is sports. Right? We had the beloved 51s for a while, and then NASCAR and the rodeo. Now we have, of course, the on fire Las Vegas Golden Knights, sure. WNBA team of the Aces, and the USL Soccer League.
Go teams.
Yes, yeah. Go teams.
And the big kahunas coming in 3 years, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
And we're super excited about that.
Absolutely.
Super excited about that.
And just ahead, a building bonanza. Let's look at some major gaming and tourism projects. That's right after this.
You're watching Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce, brought to you by Caesars Entertainment, the Regional Transportation Commission of Washoe County, the Las Vegas Sands Corporation, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, NV Energy, Jim Marsh Automotive and Body Shop, the Rogich Communications Group, and Renown Health.
I have 3 tests next week. I'm going to be studying all weekend. Ugh. Are you studying tonight? We can meet up and study together. Oh yeah, that sounds good. What time? I work until 6. Okay, sounds good. Just text me after. Okay. No!
There is no text, tweet, or call that's worth a life.
One pedestrian death is one too many.
Look up.
And look out for each other.
Want more federal news that affects Nevada, its businesses, and its residents? Then you need to subscribe to Nevada's Washington Watch newsletter, your sole source of online news direct from Washington, D.C. Visit joycecommunications.com and subscribe today.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Planet Hollywood, Paris, Harrah's, Caesar's Palace. It's one of the most exciting skylines in the world, Las Vegas. Caesars Entertainment has nearly 50 casinos worldwide, including these. But no matter which casino you visit, we want you to play responsibly. And if you need help setting or keeping a limit, we hope you'll call this number. You see, we know you're coming to our casinos to have a good time, and we always want you to leave feeling like you did.
A family's presence in the hospital helps children heal faster and cope better. But children who need specialized medical care are often sent out of the Reno area for treatment. Costs can get unmanageable, and it can be difficult for families to accompany their sick child. The Travel for Treatment program, presented by Ronald McDonald House Charities Northern Nevada, gives parents travel assistance when a child's medical treatment is not available at a local hospital. Please contact us today for more information and to see how you can help. Donate online at rmhc-reno.org.
And welcome back to Eye on Washington, our look at the good economic news coming from the gaming and tourism sector. We've been visiting with Jacqueline Peterson, the Chief Communications and Public Relations Officer for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, and Mr. Carlos LaSane, the Regional Vice President of Government Affairs for Caesars Entertainment. So let's look now at a big handful of some big efforts to lure more travelers to the Silver State. My guest, Mr. LaSane, Caesars Palace is among properties that's growing greatly. The hotel has a major convention center expansion behind the Link Hotel. And if you're hungry, good news, Caesars just opened a new Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen restaurant. Also in Southern Nevada, the debut of Park MGM and Nomad Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Stadium, Las Vegas Sandcor new music entertainment venue, Wynn Resorts Paradise Park, Genting Group's Resort World, and the Las Vegas Convention Center District Expansion and Renovation Project. Not to be outdone, the North is seeing a continued bright future as well. On tap is an updated convention center, and also considering additional contiguous 300,000 square feet of convention space, and expected to mightily boost tourism dollars is the Fall Interbike. That's a cycling industry conference and expo, which the RSCVA expects to have a $21 million economic impact. And yeah, wow, Mr. LaSane, first of all, lots of good news coming out of Caesars. You guys also are investing hundreds of millions in new room renovations, right? And not the type of news we were hearing just several years ago when tourism was struggling so much during the recession.
Absolutely. We're back. It's the best thing I can say. We are absolutely back. But we are not sitting back and doing anything. We are aggressively investing in Las Vegas, investing in our projects. The Link is an amazing, 2014, the Link came online on the Las Vegas Strip, giving a new experience to tourism. We are going to be putting in a $20 million zip line that's going to have 10 lines. It's going to be a little over 1,000 feet long. You're going to be able to not just sit in the chair, but you'll be able to do something called Superman, which is you fly forward. So that's going to be interesting. Not only that, the big kahuna in all this is going to be our Caesars Forum Conference Center, a 500,000 square foot conference center that's going to have two 100,000 plus pillarless ballrooms. That's going to be fantastic because we're jumping really head on into the meetings industry, and also a promenade and a place where we can have special events in the back of the Link parking lot. Wow. Really, really excited about that.
Between Caesars and all the hotels, it just sounds like the whole state's back, doesn't it, Ms. Peterson? You know, RSCVA says they're looking seriously at a broad array of additional amenity to attract playing customers. And one example, President Phil DeLone told Nevada Business that Baccarat gaming, which is bringing in $68 million in annual revenues, is growing. Is there a similar focus on getting players to the South? Or is it more on just kind of the overall experience? Is there a little emphasis on the getting the players in too?
So I think our resort partners are pulling out all the stops in and innovating in lots and lots of different ways. In gaming, certainly. In F&B, you mentioned Caesars, Gordon Ramsay, but there are many other celebrity chefs continuing to innovate across resort partners. There's really great live entertainment coming to the Strip and the Park Theater. Lady Gaga will start later this year. Bruno Mars had a residency there. Sure. We have with Sands the MSG beautiful new arena that Globe that we're looking forward to seeing come to life. So I think that they're innovating across all different amenity arrays, including gaming, to bring all sorts of new people to us.
Mr. LaSane, you know, we're talking about growth and addition and expansions, but I want to emphasize that, you know, Caesars and other resorts, et cetera, might be able to do more events and outreach as well than they could afford or were able to focus on during those rough years. An example here, you know, you recently held a thank you dinner for the community's first responders. I think you told me about 2,800 or so were treated to a meal cooked by your celebrity chefs. I mean, this is kind of an example of something I don't think you would have been able to do during those rougher years.
Well, Mary Lee, thank you so much for bringing that up. I didn't expect to speak about this, but I'm happy to speak about it. We decided to give back to our first responders. As we all know, we had a
2,800.
2,800, somewhere thereabouts. That's a lot of meals. But we honored those first responders who were so gallant in helping us through a very, very rough time on October 1st. But we were proud to bring in our celebrity chefs, from Giada to Bobby Flay to Steve Mortarano to Guy Fieri and the Piede Resistance, Mr. Gordon Ramsay. I had no idea that he was a rock star. When we announced him, people literally, these are firefighters and police officers running down to the stage and screaming. Hell's Kitchen is pretty popular program.
Out there.
So we did that, and we were very, very happy to give back to the community. And Caesars is their mantra and their code of commitment is always making places better where we operate throughout the country, and certainly Las Vegas and Nevada. So we're very happy to be able to do that.
Ms. Peterson, we're just about out of time in this segment, but I want to give you a chance to talk on this too. Your role and Mr. DeLone's role up north, Rossi's, Mr. Rallencotter's role, is to get people to the state. And when we're talking about things like this outreach and this goodwill, that's really another example that it kind of boosts the reputations of the resorts, boosts the reputations of Nevada tourism and gaming in general, doesn't it? And that's another way you just get people to visit Nevada.
Absolutely. We've always known that Southern Nevada is a great place to live. Actually, all of Nevada is a great place to live. And in the past several months, the world got to see what a great, fantastic community we are and how we all pull together.
Okay, coming up, what are other drivers of tourism this year? I'll ask my guests their thoughts. That's just ahead.
Nevada's direct link to Capitol Hill. Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce. The only statewide Nevada news show based in Washington, D.C. All the top federal matters that matter most to Nevadans. Marilee talks with our congressional delegation and other leaders about the federal news you need to know. Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce. Nevada's Eye on Capitol Hill.
When you think RTC, what comes to mind? How about jobs? RTC road projects bring thousands of jobs to Washoe County, expanding and connecting northern Nevada, growing our local economy, providing a more secure future for our residents and their families. So when you think jobs, think RTC. Your RTC, the RTC of Washoe County.
We're not a miracle drug. We're not a technology. We're not doctors. Just the hope, which can often be the best cure of all. The Ronald McDonald House, a home away from home for seriously ill children and their families.
Planet Hollywood, Paris, Harrah's, Caesar's Palace. It's one of the most exciting skylines in the world, Las Vegas. Caesars Entertainment has nearly 50 casinos worldwide, including these. But no matter which casino you visit, we want you to play responsibly. And if you need help setting or keeping a limit, we hope you'll call this number. You see, we know you're coming to our casinos to have a good time, and we always want you to leave feeling like you did.
Safety. We all think about it. You think about it when he buckles in, when you check your mirrors and put away your phone. RTC thinks about safety too. In fact, we create it. Center turn lanes mean fewer blind spots. Bike lanes keep cyclists and you safe. Roundabouts reduce injury collisions, and all these crosswalks are designed to keep families like yours safe. Safety is your priority, and it's ours too. Every day, in everything we do.
And welcome back to Eye on Washington, our look at recent gaming and tourism news important to the Nevada economy. We've been visiting with Jacqueline Peterson, the Chief Communications and Public Relations Officer for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, and Mr. Carlos LaSane, the Regional Vice President of Government Affairs for Caesars Entertainment. Well, sure, things are up today, but what about tomorrow? After that long recession, Nevadans can't be blamed for being nervous about the future of the state's top industry, drivers of gaming and tourism. But if predictions from the heads of the LVCVA and RSCVA come true, things are looking pretty bright. We mentioned a big handful of current and coming projects in our last segment, but to get travelers to the state takes a multi-pronged approach, even beyond construction and expansion. In that Nevada business piece I mentioned, LVCVA President and CEO Rossi Rallencotter said beyond building, he says strength in the future also depends on continued development of international visitation, improved air service, meetings and conventions, business and sports. His counterpart up north, RSCVA President and CEO Phil DeLone, says tourism drivers are continued growth in air service, maintaining a good overall regional economy, and further success of the agency's newest marketing campaign that highlights the area's diverse offerings. And, you know, one interesting thing they're doing, Ms. Peterson, is engaging a Chinese firm to target travelers internationally and also domestically. They're adding sales professionals in Las Vegas, Atlanta, and Sacramento to help grow the convention business market. Regarding that latter point, and especially that they said they're adding sales professionals down south, is there some co-marketing between the agencies, you know, both to bring tourists to Nevada generally, to attract Southern Nevadas to Reno and vice versa, et cetera?
Well, all visitors to Nevada is a great thing for Nevadans. So there are some opportunities for when people come to visit Southern Nevada to go up north and maybe ski if they're here over the winter, and to visit beautiful Lake Tahoe if they're here in the summer. Sure. So there's great opportunities statewide.
You know, Mr. LaSane, Mr. Rallencotter was emphasizing the crucial importance of focusing not just on today, but looking to what's going to keep those tourists coming into the distant future. It's fantastic that we have this room expansion, the new Hell's Kitchen, et cetera, et cetera. But how much emphasis do you and Caesars place on staying on top of trends, et cetera, to keep things strong looking into tomorrow?
We take it very seriously. We're constantly looking at trends, but at the same time, we are cultivating the next generation. And what I mean by that is right now we're dealing with millennials and trying to figure out exactly what they like and what they don't like. The whole industry, not just Caesars Entertainment, is looking at, for instance, esports. What is that? And so all of us have kids or have been there playing video games, what have you. Well, that's a big, big industry, and it's growing. And the gaming industry is trying to get its hands around that. So you're starting to see more and more events that are esports throughout the whole strip of Las Vegas. So all the major gaming companies are looking into it.
You know, we're just about out of time for this segment, but I did notice that Mr. Rallencotter, one of the things he mentioned was the importance of, you know, the tourism and infrastructure sectors as far as getting tourists to Nevada, and he specifically focused on improved air travel. I wondered what your focus is there.
So Rossi and the team at the LVCVA have really been visionaries. They started working directly with McCarran Airport many years ago to figure out what additional routes they could help bring into Las Vegas, so more and more people can fly direct to Las Vegas and enjoy our great city. So that continued air service into the airport and making travel safe and efficient for everybody who wants to come to Las Vegas.
Fantastic. And when we return, what's needed from the congressional delegation and the federal government in general to help keep gaming growing strong? We're going to ask my guests what they think about that right after this.
Planet Hollywood, Paris, Harrah's, Caesar's Palace. It's one of the most exciting skylines in the world, Las Vegas. Caesars Entertainment has nearly 50 casinos worldwide, including these. But no matter which casino you visit, we want you to play responsibly. And if you need help setting or keeping a limit, we hope you'll call this number. You see, we know you're coming to our casinos to have a good time, and we always want you to leave feeling like you did.
Nevada's direct link to Capitol Hill. Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce, the only statewide Nevada news show based in Washington, D.C. All the top federal matters that matter most to Nevadans. Marilee talks with our congressional delegation and other leaders about the federal news you need to know. Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce, Nevada's Eye on Capitol Hill.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. I dare you to be somebody important. Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots. To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something? Then do it. I dare you.
Are you studying tonight? We can meet up and study together.
Just text me after.
Okay.
No!
There is no text, tweet, or call that's worth a life.
One pedestrian death is one too many.
Look up. And look out for each other.
This girl is very pretty. It's inciting feelings of jealousy in me. We should pick on her.
I'm insecure about some things, so I think we should put some me stuff on here. Maybe even some lies, too.
Yeah. I just want to be accepted by you both. So I'm going to send this to my friends so they think I'm cool.
Kids bully for all kinds of reasons. None of them are good. Find ways to get involved at flipthescriptnow.org.
Want more federal news that affects Nevada, its businesses, and its residents? Then you need to subscribe to Nevada's Washington Watch newsletter, your sole source of online news direct from Washington, D.C. Visit joycecommunications.com and subscribe today.
And it is time for our closing segment of today's Eye on Washington. And we've had as our guest today Jacqueline Peterson, the Chief Communications and Public Relations Officer of the LVCVA, and Mr. Carlos LaSane, the Regional Vice President of Government Relations for Caesars Entertainment. And as our statewide audience knows, we do many gaming and tourism related shows with our delegation every year, and that's because gaming and tourism are the top industry, and we all know what a weak gaming sector does to the state's economy. So, you know, of course they all want it healthy, and everybody in Nevada wants those two sectors healthy. I'm going to ask you both, what do you believe is the delegation role in supporting gaming, and what do you both want to see accomplished on the Hill that affects the industry this year and into the future?
Well, Marilee, let me say this. During his tenure, Senator Reed did a fantastic job of representing the industry. He's no longer in that position anymore. Kathleen Cortez Masto is a new senator, and she's doing a great job just thus far, as is the entire delegation representing Nevada as a whole. Specifically as it relates to the industry, we want them to be able to articulate to their constituents just how important, just the job creation that we do and the economic driver that we are. To do that, keeping a low tax environment and maintaining jobs.
We'll have to stop it there. We're out of time today. I know you've got a lot of legislation to talk about, but we're going to have you on again next week on international gaming so we can talk about some of those big things you've got going on, like Brand USA and visa waivers, et cetera, then. Thanks for being here today. Thanks. That does wrap up today's Eye on Washington. I hope you'll join us for another look at federal matters that matter most to you in Washington next week. In the meantime, though, we're always here for you, providing all the federal news that Nevadans need to know. Just go to our website, joycecommunications.com. While you're there, check out all the federal news that impacts Nevada. You can like us on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, catch up with any shows you may have missed on our YouTube page. That is it for this week's Eye on Washington. I'm Marilee Joyce in Washington, D.C. Have a great day today.
Thank you for watching Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce. Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce airs statewide in Nevada solely due to the generosity of our sponsors. Can your company help us continue our mission to remain Nevada's top source of federal news? If you can help us help Nevadans, please visit joycecommunications.com/WordPress/EOW sponsors and join us today. That's joycecommunications.com/WordPress/EOW sponsors.